Imagine standing on a mountain, holding a knife over your only son, trembling with tears, as a voice whispers, "Do it, obey God." Just as your heart shatters, another voice breaks the silence. "Stop!" An angel's hand seizes yours, sparing the boy's life forever. That moment at Mount Moriah was where many believed Tzadkiel, known as the Angel of God's Mercy, stepped into history. But who exactly is Tzadkiel? A gentle protector of humankind, or a fierce judge who holds the scales of God's justice? In the vast tapestry of angels described in scripture, tradition, and mystical writings, Tzadkiel often remains hidden in the shadows of more famous figures like Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. Yet Tzadkiel's presence is said to mark some of the most dramatic moments in sacred history. He is the angel who embodies paradox, mercy and judgment, protection and power. His name means righteousness of God, a title that captures both tenderness and authority. To some, Tzadkiel is the angel who stayed Abraham's hand when Isaac was bound for sacrifice. To others, he is one of the 7 archangels who stand before the throne of God, overseeing divine justice and guarding the faithful from unseen forces of darkness. Tonight, we'll explore his story, not just as a celestial being, but as a figure who reflects our deepest struggles with mercy, sacrifice, but divine protection. Let's return to Mount Moriah, the story known as the binding of Isaac, or the Akedah. Abraham, torn between love for his son and obedience to God, prepared to sacrifice Isaac. Ancient Jewish traditions, echoed in mystical texts, identify the angel who intervened as Tzadkiel. Imagine Abraham's heartbeat, every pulse a drum of anguish, every step up the mountain a test of loyalty. His love for Isaac was unshakable, but so was his devotion to God. Here, Tzadkiel appears not as a distant angel but as the very embodiment of divine mercy. With a cry that split the air, he stopped Abraham. In that single act, Tzadkiel preserved the covenantal promise, showing that God desires not death, but mercy. This moment forever entwined Tzadkiel with love, the protective love that shields us when we teeter on the edge of despair, the merciful love that halts destruction at the last moment. Yet mercy is never simple. Love often walks hand in hand with judgment, and Tzadkiel is no exception. For as much as Tzadkiel is tied to mercy, ancient sources also place him in the terrifying role of judge. The Talmud and mystical texts describe him as standing beside Michael and Gabriel in heavenly courts, weighing human deeds. Imagine a courtroom not of earth but of eternity, where every thought, action, and secret is placed on scales of light and shadow. Tzadkiel is there, eyes blazing with righteousness, ensuring justice is not corrupted. This duality stirs conflict. How can one angel be both the one who stops a sacrifice and the one who measures human worth with divine precision? Some traditions even describe Tzadkiel leading hosts of angels in battle, wielding judgment against nations that defy God. The same hands that stayed Abraham's knife could just as easily draw a flaming sword. This tension, mercy versus judgment, reflects a truth we all live with: the struggle between compassion and justice, forgiveness and consequence. To understand Tzadkiel is to confront this very conflict within our own hearts. Picture a vision from mystical writings. At the end of days, the heavens open like a scroll, and humanity stands trembling before the throne of God. Angels surround the scene: Michael, the warrior; Gabriel, the messenger; Raphael, the healer. And there, Tzadkiel steps forward, carrying the scales of divine judgment. Souls are weighed. Mercy pleads for the broken, judgment demands accountability. Silence fills the cosmos. This is the height of Tzadkiel's paradox. He is the angel who both defends and disciplines, who shows compassion yet never compromises righteousness. In some Jewish and Christian traditions, he is linked to the planet Jupiter, the symbol of expansive justice, kingship, and benevolence. Like Jupiter, Tzadkiel's role looms vast, his presence stretching between heaven and earth, mercy and might. The climax of his story is not simply a moment in history, but an eternal role, Zadkiel as the angel who guards humanity's fragile balance between punishment and pardon. What does Zadkiel's story teach us? First, that God's mercy is real, and it comes in the moments we least expect, like Abraham's trembling hand being stopped in the nick of time. Second, that divine protection surrounds us, even when unseen. Zadkiel is often invoked by believers for safety in travel, strength in trials, and courage in the face of danger. But the deeper lesson is this: mercy does not erase judgment, and judgment does not cancel mercy. Instead, they coexist, just as love and discipline shape every healthy relationship. Zadkiel's very name, righteousness of God, reminds us that true righteousness is not blind justice nor reckless compassion, but the perfect union of both. And perhaps that's why Zadkiel still captivates us. He reflects the questions we all wrestle with. Am I forgiven? Am I protected? Does justice truly prevail? As the sun sets on Mount Moriah and Abraham walks down with Isaac alive by his side, Zadkiel's presence lingers, a reminder that in our darkest trials, mercy can break through at the final moment. Zadkiel remains the angel of divine protection, watching, weighing, and whispering mercy when judgment seems inevitable. But here's the question: if Zadkiel embodies both mercy and judgment, what happens when humanity rejects both? Who stands guard then? In our next story, we'll uncover the angel who faced rebellion head-on, casting a mighty being from heaven to earth, Michael, the warrior archangel. Stay with us, because the story of angels has only just begun.